either A, pay to play, and in ways that they wouldn't even think about, because they're like, oh, well, print out some flyers and go walk the neighborhood. I'm like, okay, gas and flyers. I'm like, I don't know how I'm eating next week. So next idea.
Welcome everybody. This is another episode of the Top Producer Mindset. It's been a little while since we've been ramping up on these podcasts. So today we have a very special guest. We have somebody that you may have came across already on TikTok, the one and only Zachary Foust. So who is Zachary, right? It's a 28-year-old team lead from Delaware. He has built his own brokerage on an organic way. Like, this doesn't happen on social media as much as it used to. It's more a pay-to-play space, but Zach has literally the formula to do it. He's done it on Facebook, Instagram, with over 1.6 million followers on TikTok, and he has helped boost Loft Realty to become the #1 Google reviewed team in the state of Delaware, right?
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Now, Zach, in your spare time, you enjoy showing people how you've done it. You speak on stage. I think I've seen you in a couple different stages. One of them being, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you tell me, Tom Ferry's, right?
Yeah, I've done a couple of those little breakout sessions for him. Yeah.
And now you're hosting masterminds, you're coaching agents, and all just really getting yourself out there and trying to help people do a little bit more. That's awesome, man.
That's a great way of putting it. Just doing a little bit more. Yeah, you summed it up, man. Better than I could have said it.
I love it, man. So I'll tell you this. I came across one of your TikToks, funny enough, right? I'm one of those 1.6, by the way. I came across one of your TikToks, I would say like 2-3 months ago. And what immediately caught my attention is, number one, you're not going like the crazy route with like, all right, let me do like movie style film production and everything. You literally are like the epitome of somebody that can do it themselves. You know, you just grab the phone from what it seemed like, and you were using the zoom button, like in and out every 2 seconds or so. And I'm just like, God, this guy keeps my attention. Damn it. You know, because from the marketing background, I'm always looking for the reason to swipe away. But I didn't with yours, and then I just got entrenched in some of your concepts. So tell me, what got you into doing video?
Man, being broke and stupid, not having a lick of an idea on what to do. When I got my license just, 5.5 years ago, nearly now, and social media was free. I went throughout my office, I remember for a couple weeks in a row, and I worked for a Keller Williams office. No love or hate towards Keller Williams as a brand, but the specific office just wasn't my favorite. And I was trying to figure out like what to do. And all the options, like you kind of said, were either A, pay to play, and in ways that they wouldn't even think about, because they're like, oh, well, print out some flyers and go walk the neighborhood. I'm like, okay, gas and flyers. I'm like, I don't know how I'm eating next week. So next idea. I happened upon Facebook. Like, no one seems to be doing anything on here. And so that means one of two things. Either it doesn't work or no one's found out it works. So I was like, I'll find out. And I started going live and statuses and pictures, and, it all snowballs. It was probably awful content. If you scroll to the bottom of my TikTok, it's awful. Bottom of Instagram's terrible. You got to grow somewhere, and you're absolutely right. It's just kind of spur of the moment, what I felt, what I thought. And I've just had people latch on to just me being me. Had a lot of people say, screw you, from me being me. And, frankly, made a lot of money from me being me. So I think it's definitely the secret sauce. I know it's hard to conceptualize sometimes or put into a tactical blueprint of exactly how to be you. But I'm doing my best every single day to tell more agents how.
So one of the things that you mentioned, and I want to start right there with you, is you talked about, you started on Facebook by going live. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we constantly preach and teach to agents, it's like, hey, look, if you don't want to create any content, you don't want to have cameras in your face, or you you just hate having your phone in your face and talking to yourself, it's like, at least try to go live, because you'll get some immediate reciprocation, some feedback. So tell me a little bit of how that got you started. What was some of the initial feedback that you got, and ultimately like what that did for you, your confidence on video, like just you doing it? What did that look like?
Yeah. And you could talk to Glenda about this next time, but I mean, her post from the Porsche, her videos there do great. I have a client of mine, Tammy Pack, who goes live in her car every morning, her and her cat in the car. And it builds this following. And for me, I would go live at all my open houses. I would be live. And if I wasn't talking to someone walking in the door, like if I was on live and I was talking, come say, hey, someone's walking in the door, I'm gonna jet out real quick, you know, and I'd leave it live. You know, it was a live open house. So they had the ability to stick around, and I enjoyed being able to just meet with people. And yeah, it could have been 2-3 hours, but the 17 people that popped in throughout, 2 of them may be like, oh, you're a realtor now, didn't know. And seed, like it's just, for me, it's always with the lives been about just really connect with people. Put the social in social media, you know. Yeah. Don't just post and get off. Like, talk to people, learn who they are, let them learn who you are. Is that what we are all looking to do?
100%. I think it's an old industry, right? Real estate.
Age-wise, yeah, absolutely.
There's I don't know the exact stat that NAR released recently, but it's like majority of agents are like up there, like 45 plus. And then now there's this new wave, I would say like a millennial Gen Z generation stepping in. But at which point in time did you say, you know what, I like what I'm doing on live. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to fine tune myself on video. And what was there like a moment, like an aha moment that you had where you said, you know what, when I say these things up front, it seems to stick better, like, because your hooks are incredible, dude.
Thank you, my friend. And honestly, no, there was never a moment. I just know I keep getting better at them. And I keep putting a stronger focus on them. I have the blessing of putting myself through the lives and putting myself through the Instagram when realtors weren't on Instagram 4.5 years ago and 5 years ago. You know, where I was running entire open houses and showing people homes on FaceTime. No one was doing that 4 years ago. So I had the blessing of really getting into it when no one else was really getting into it. And so I learned from other people. So I didn't break my teeth down on other realtors making content. I got my teeth broken in on watching Dude Perfect and Mr. Beast and all these, I mean, a slew of creators. I won't get into mid-name people because no one's gonna know what I'm talking about, but watching people that make content. So I'm like, I don't have anyone to look at. I don't have anyone else who's making real estate focused content. And now I'm on this TikTok thing. I don't know what to do. And TikTok was kind of my awakening, if there was a moment, where I just truly started to understand the power that you can really have in the first moments. Yeah. The amount of attention that you can win or lose in the first frames is incredible. And I've fallen more and more in love with the psychology. So I consider myself very blessed because I do have a love for the psychology of how a person reacts on the other side. As I know, in a marketing world like you do as well. You just told me that you were consciously scrolling, which is something I tell my clients to do, to consciously scroll. Yeah. You know, when something grabs your attention, think to yourself, why? What was the moment? What was the word? What was the color? What was the frame switch? Like, everyone's like, you know, I love Manscaped's marketing. I love, there's another one, Dr. Squatch, and and a couple others. And I was like, well, you know, those are all run by a corporation called Raindrop, right? And I'm like, oh no. And I was like, yeah, it's all the same actors. And guess what? Watch it again. There's a frame change every 2 seconds. They're like, that's way too much. I'm like, watch it. It's not. It works. It's like they have an attention grabbing asset within their videos every second and a half. I watched like 19 of them and did an average because I'm a nerd. And so I'm like, okay, 1.5 seconds.
That's crazy. So when you mentioned, you know, you weren't paying attention to people in the industry to create content. You went outside of the industry, but you mentioned some pretty big names in there. It's like, yeah, let's just point out the obvious, Mr. Beast, right? Funny enough, my business partner, Josh, is good buddies with one of the people that works literally Mr. Beast's right-hand man.
That's awesome.
And it's like, he was looking at some of our content. He's like, yeah, the videos are fine, but honestly, the way your hooks are, they're kind of aids, you know, gamer names. And I was like, oh, well, gotta revisit that one. But
well, and it's a great point, because I point to Mr. Beast and Dude Perfect and how ridiculous, and the slow-mo guys and all these different people. Watch the people, because you're like, why would I want to model myself after someone's been getting millions and millions? I don't get millions. Why would you model yourself off of anybody but Stephen Curry if you're trying to develop a jump shot? Like, I want to know Lance Armstrong's workout routine if I want to ride a bike competitively. I want to know how Tiger swings, his thoughts, his feels, how he grips it, what he thinks about before he goes to sleep if I want to become a great golfer. Why would I focus on an amateur? So if no one else is making content in the space, and even if they are now, and you do have a lot of people to look up to now, Mr. Beast is a person we're talking about now. So watch a video of his. He starts and you're in the middle of the video. It's like, it's there. If it was, we're playing a game of hide and seek for $100,000, it pops in. All right, count to 10, go. All right, I'm in this. Like, yeah, you're just bought in because shit, I'm here. Like, the thumbnails, simple, intriguing. Titles, simple, intriguing. And then there's always this layer with his, and I look at a How Ridiculous or a Dude Perfect, where they have this layer of almost like the carrot on the stick thing, where there's just always a new level of curiosity.
It's like just when you're about to lose enough interest,
just a new thing. Yeah, a new thing. Like, I look at a show called Lost back in the early 2000s, where they had people for 6 months waiting for the next season, still thinking about it, because there was such a large amount of creativity. Like, you thought you were starting to get things, and then the season 2 finale, and you're like, wait, what? There's other people here? Ends. Like, no, yeah, exactly. Like, it goes crazy. But every time there's just new, like, well, I need this to come back on. What do you mean I have to wait? And they did that every week. But with content, with like them, they're like always doing something that's re-engaging, that's bringing in a new level of interest. Like Dude Perfect, a great one, where that big shot, the record breaker, the world record, it's always at the end. And they build up to it. You know, with How Ridiculous, they're like, let's see how many darts we can throw through a piece of paper. And they're like, 1 piece of paper, let's try 5. And that's like, we're doing 1,000 now. And like, it works up to the point where you're like, every time you're rethinking to yourself, do I think it'll make this through or not? And seriously. So our content, and the reason I've gotten good at it, is only because I'm constantly doing hooks. And I'm thinking of hooks all the time. And even as I'm presenting the story or the happening or the joke or the stat or whatever it may be, I'm still thinking hook in my head.
I would say like the hook is 80% of the video.
Sure.
You know, and it's
sure.
When it comes to, for us at least, thinking about hooks, it's, you want to do something that's slightly polarizing, something that people are trying to get away from, work towards, and then be willing to take the risk at failing on that particular video, right? Do you have a formula that you
I solve a problem. Yeah, there has to be a problem.
Okay.
There has to be a problem. That's the only thing I'll build my hook around, is I want to find the problem or the person that resonates with this problem. Like, for example, when I say, you know, your worst nightmare just came true, the housing market just crashed. All right, that's enough of a preamble hook to get everyone's attention to stop scrolling for a moment, because I'm not looking. There's 2 stages in TikTok, especially. There's thumb up, all right, and then there's thumb cuddled. I'm trying to get that thumb cuddled, but I can't do that in the first word. First word, your worst nightmare just came true. Oh, shit.
Boom.
The housing market just crashed. Oh, I don't care about that. But the people who do care, oh, shit, housing market's going to crash. I'm looking to buy a house. Thumb cuddle.
Stick around. What's, and sorry, I'm a very analytical person. Do you also spend some time looking at your analytics at all?
Sure. Yeah.
Saying like, all right, like I see why this broke down, like why it worked, why it didn't work.
Yeah. So TikTok definitely has some analytic features, not the greatest. I do get stats like, you know, my average watch times. I would much rather an analytic platform like a YouTube that actually give me a, you know, spot by spot breakdown of, hey, at this point in the video, it starts to drop. But I do take my averages, and I'll look back and I'll think, okay, 36-second mark. Why is that? And I'll look back and I'll be like, I revealed the end a little bit there. Maybe that was it. Like, that was enough for them. Their satisfaction was cured and they didn't need it anymore. Because that's an easy one where people will give away the end of the video.
Yeah.
In the caption. You know, like, I don't have to watch your video.
It says it in the caption.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is the market going to crash? Let's chat about it. And then right when you look down at the caption, like, and that's why I think the market's not going to crash. Well, okay, well, I don't need your opinion anymore.
Yeah, I don't need to watch the video anymore. You know, that's so interesting. In the time that I've been doing this, that's one way of looking at it that I haven't paid attention to. I'm like, huh, like, how about you don't give away the answer in the caption?
Yeah, the same exact way that Lost wouldn't tell you what's really going on, you know, because that continually breeds this, I need a little bit more. I need there's a book called The 48 Laws of Power, and it's a very polarizing book because it's true. It's a psychological book you can use for good or for evil, 100%. But it's the brain.
They've been banned in jails, I heard.
Huh?
Have you seen those? Like,
yeah, some of them ban them in jails. Yeah, absolutely, because of the psychological principles it talks about. It can be taken in the form of manipulation. Con artists, you know, different world leaders who were terrible people. This book dissects them as like, you know, this person was awful, but they got their attention. How'd they do it?
Here's where they did it right. Here's where
they did it wrong. Yeah, they do the transgression and then the heeding of the law, or like utilizing it. Yeah. But one of them talks about, and he doesn't liken it to marketing, but he does liken it to just as a whole, that in the world of attention, we need to view it in the form of seduction. And in the form of seduction, the art of it, whether you can take it any route you want, but in the actual definition of the word is just the constant leading on, the constant luring, the constant not giving them 100%, making them think they're going to get it. And then, no, that's the seduction of marketing.
Yep.
And that's the same exact way a TV show can have you sitting there when Infinity War ends and you're just sitting there in the movie theater thinking, what's going, like, I gotta leave now, like, it just, and first ticket for Infinity War, we were there because we're like, we need to know. So creating miniature micro doses of that in your content on a daily basis begins to give you this lure of someone that someone wants to listen to.
So let me ask you this, because I think, and you've nailed it by now, and you're only getting started. I feel like you're only getting better at it. Again, like,
thank you, my friend.
The transgression of your videos and the hooks is the one main thing that I pay attention to on your videos, is literally the hooks. I'm like, Christ, like, this is good, and again, like, you're swiping in and out, like, it's
all of it has a purpose. Yeah. And I've slowly learned the purpose. Mm-hmm. But
so if we were to put this of, like, everybody in the industry is like, you guys need to do video, you guys need to be marketing yourselves, you guys need to be building your personal brand.
Yep.
Where would you tell somebody that has been like, yeah, I know I need to do it, I just don't know where to begin? What do you tell them? We're like, dude, just take action. Let's do it here. Let's do it together, right? But
I kind of liken it to the gym. It's one of those things you have to understand when you do it. You can't expect results next week. You can't. The same, and I liken to the fitness industry and the dating world a lot when I talk about real estate, because there's some things that we understand over here to be law, and then some things over here that we're like, why are you doing this? This is not right. No, look at these two. Like, for example, in the health world, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Okay, I'm starting to lose some weight. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Takes a little bit of time. You do, 6-month reviews, 12-month before and afters. You're going day to day, putting in consistent day-to-day effort to achieve a caloric deficit, to not eat saturated fats, to lower your sodium count, to raise the amount of water you're drinking, to take your supplement. All that stuff has to happen for days and days, for months, to start showing results. Yep. Yet when we do one video, we want to get 5,000 views. Doesn't make sense.
I'm not getting the views. I'm not getting the leads.
Exactly. It's like walking up to a girl at a bar and proposing to her. It doesn't make sense. You got to introduce.
How strong she is. Just kidding.
Introduce yourself. Build some rapport. Build a relationship, and then eventually it can come to that fruition naturally. I compare it to like walking up to the bar and saying, "Hey, my name's Zach. I want you to meet my parents." Like, so, whoa.
Initially, it's more so, to your point. It's, I think, more than anything in this industry, what we've noticed in the time that we've been doing it is most real estate professionals, they want that result right away.
Yeah.
But fail to understand that the video marketing piece of it, the branding and the brand development aspect of it, it's a compounding effect.
The brand. And I know you said 15 minutes and I can talk for hours, so I'll kind of shave it around on this one. And shave it around is never anything anyone's ever said, so I don't know why I said that. But either way, the thing I'll round it out with is the brand. If you don't care about your brand, if you are in here because you know you'll be here for 5 years, you want some sales, you're going to work your sphere, you're going to hustle, but you're not really a video person, cool. Don't even have social media. Legit, don't even have it. Don't download TikTok, have Facebook to keep up with grandma, Instagram to watch sports highlights, and that's it. Cool. Go door knock, cold call, FISBO, withdrawn expired. There's plenty of business that's not related to video. But if you want to build a career in real estate, you need to pick up your phone now and start documenting. And that's all it is. That's all a brand is. A brand's a story. And how do you build a story? You document, you write. That's the only way a story can be built. So if you want a story to be built around you and the business and the legacy you're going to leave and just the impact you're going to leave on the community, you need to have the journey mapped out. The reason a Stephen Curry, who I mentioned earlier, is such a loved on individual and has been his whole career is because a lot of us got to watch him come from non-recruited, Division II athlete and March Madness blow up. And we're like, who the heck's this kid who doesn't look tall enough to be in my high school class, nevertheless on an NBA floor? We have a story. And so many companies like Tesla, for example. All right. And so like, I don't want to go into the list because we'll get controversial and it'll go on for a long time, but Tesla's a great example of someone, just the brand runs that company.
Zero advertising dollars.
And if your face and your voice and who makes you, your why, what just creates you to be isn't on broadcast at all times, you're not going to build a brand that's built around you. You're going to build a brand based on the fact that you're a real estate agent, and that's really about it. And that's not going to win most battles in the long run.
Can you go a little deeper on that? I know, again, like we're running on time, but
we're in a phase. We're in a
concept of like, you versus a realtor, because so many people are like, even yesterday we were doing a training and they're just like, I want to separate my profiles, personal and business. And I'm like, dude, you pick up a call 24 hours a day as a realtor, but you're still a human being. Like, why are you trying to separate yourself? Yeah.
So people don't follow houses. People follow the people that sell them. So why do you have a page that's only dedicated to houses and sold and under contracts? I'm not really too sure. It's not a method that's ever been proven to be successful. If you want, and a great example, Ryan Serhant. Go to Ryan Serhant's page. His personal page has like 1.2 million. His professional page has like 300,000 and the worst engagement you've ever seen. Click through it. So it's not a good method. You're in a face-facing business. I know you want to have the Twitter profile like Wendy's, or you want to have the online presence like an Amazon. It's cool to hide behind a logo. The reason they have a logo is because they're a culmination of hundreds, if not thousands of people. Mm-hmm. You're a person or a small team or even 100-person team, whatever. The personal branded profile, the one central voice. You move your eyebrows this way when you smile. Your hair normally looks like this. This is their favorite color. I know their dog. Her husband used to work with mine. That will win every single time over the person who's just grinding out sales. Do both.
Boom.
That's the thing about it. Just do what you do as a real estate agent and don't even think about, oh my God, what content. Just document what you already plan to do. And that's all I did for 2 to 3 years. And frankly, most people know me from the TikTok, and that's fun. That's great. But the only reason I was even a lick good at it is because I was doing video for like 3 years before that. And I know no one wants to hear that, but
so it takes years before you become an overnight success. All right.
Yeah, 100%. Six packs are going overnight after 10 years.
I love every single bit of it. Tell people where they can find you online. Again, if you guys haven't already subscribed to Zachary's TikTok, Instagram account, I think you're on YouTube as well. It's like, go check him out, dude. Like you're creating so much fun content. Pay attention to his hooks. I mean, use them. Hopefully they can take some pointers.
Yeah, rip them off. Tag me in it.
There you go. But tell them where to find you at. How to find
just Zachary.loft on Instagram is the best spot. Always in my DMs, always responding. So if you got questions,
we connected. Being
100%. Yeah. So just write in the DM. So you ever got questions, you ever got anything like that, just feel free to get in there. I'm not the best at responding quickly, but I will get back to you. So that's where I love connecting with people. That's where almost every piece of content will end up, is finding its way into the vault of Instagram. So it's a good way to see everything, what's going on. And we can keep up with each other's growth journey.
There you go. Zachary, thank you so much for joining us here at the Producer Mindset, man. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for the invite, my friend. Highly appreciate you. Have a great day, okay?
Cheers.